to a brand new edition of your favorite weekly current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Ewosa Osamundi Americana. It's a delight to be with you on the program. It promises to be educative, enlightening, and of course, entertaining. And I must tell you that today's program is a must watch because of what is happening in Nigeria. So many Nigerians are anticipating the 2023 general election. Now, because of the emergence of the third force, there's real interest in what will happen. But while Nigerians prepare for elections, there seems to be a monster lurking around, and that monster is the threat of insecurity. So we are looking at the threat of insecurity on democracy, that is, the democratic process in Nigeria. Well, to join me dissect today's topic, we have a special guest, and of course a regular face, a professor of law, Professor Job Odio. Nice to have you.
Nice to have you.
Okay, so today's program is really special because you have the opportunity to really enlighten Nigerians on what is happening. Now, the threat of insecurity of democracy is a very big problem because Mr. President, the number one citizen of Nigeria, the man who has the constitutional powers to protect lives and property, has been threatened by terrorists. President Buhari and the governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, were both threatened by terrorists in a video that was released. But of course, the presidency debunked the threat and described the threat as laughable. In other words, it doesn't hold water in the local palace. Well, Professor Joe, now, we know that we've talked about insecurity, but it's taking a very disturbing and, of course, a dimension that gives cause for concern. If Mr. President can be threatened, some persons on the streets are saying, if President can be threatened, then what about the masses?
Man,
So that's one aspect of this very disturbing problem. But another aspect, again, is that we believe that Nigerians can determine their future. Nigerians can determine who leads them. Nigerians can determine who will become the president of Nigeria in 2023. But if this threat of insecurity is not abated, do you think the 2023 election can hold? That is one very aspect that I know Nigerians are really eager to get to know about.
Thank you very much. When I saw your invitation on my phone, I realized that the last time I was there in June, this was exactly what we discussed. And at that time, we were focusing on the train kidnap, the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, as it were. And we thought that was the height of it, or the worst that we had seen. So we thought, but it's most unfortunate that thereafter things have worsened. We were thinking of solutions, hoping that things will never get as bad as it was then. That those persons were kidnapped, and then we had the Kuje prison break. But thereafter, we had the attack on the Brigade of Guards, the elite guard that protects the president. So that was an attack on the president. We had the attack on his convoy almost about the same time.
In Daura.
And then this one, the threat, video taped threat. So it's no longer within the realm of speculation or rumor mongering now. Because the video is there, and I'm sure the DSS and other security agents will have gone to verify that video to see that this is actually what was said, and the people say that said it. So that's in a global perspective. Before we narrow down the election itself, that threat itself is a very serious one.
But the presidency said it's a laughable.
Yes, it's laughable. I want to believe that it's laughable literally in the sense that they don't believe that such a thing can happen or such a thing can ever happen. But I think beyond say it is laughable, you have to make us believe it is laughable.
Okay.
And how do you do that? It's your response. It's your response to the threat. Not your rhetorics, not your rhetorics, not your sound bites, as you say. Because one would expect that, I expect that in some other sane countries, I was saying, I'm sorry to say that I was saying, more developed or more focused country, more like it. I expect if that kind of threat was uttered against the president of the United States of America.
The terrorists will be in trouble.
So how they smoked out the second in command of Bin Laden after almost 21 years. 21 years after, they were still trailing him until they got him in Afghanistan just last week here. So I was thinking that if there's a threat, because somebody laughed about it, I don't know if I can share it on this forum. Somebody reminded us how a dog was named after our president some years back. I don't know if you remember that. Shortly after his, about 2 years on the seat, a dog was named after our president, and the person was arrested and prosecuted. Who didn't name a dog after our revered president? Why would you try to mock our president by? So I expect that the threat to the president would have been met with force. What kind of force? I said by now they would have smoked out, the Tucano jets should be activated. If you didn't want to activate it for any reason, if there were clauses with the US or wherever that made you not to use them till now, I expect that threat. Once that video clip was aired, and it was verified by this. The following day, I would see Tucano jets, jet bombers smoking out all the bandits. That is, you send a message to them that you don't threat. I'm not saying the president is superhuman, that you have to wait for the president to be threatened before you use all these jets or use full force. But if there's only lethargy, any feeling of unconcern at the level of governance, the threat to the highest office, that office epitomizes our sovereignty.
You are correct. So, you are correct.
In fact, if another country makes a threat on our president, it's enough for us to go to war. Just imagine if the president of, God forbid, any of our neighbors. Though we have friendly neighbors, we have friendly neighbors, as it were. But if we had any president of the country threatening our president directly, it's enough to go to war. We can attack and say it's a threat.
For threatening the president?
It's enough to go to war. We can go to war and it will be justified international law.
Yes. Because there was a threat on the life of the president.
So when you now have insurgents or terrorists, as you brand them as they are, because the court has pronounced them as terrorists, coming on air to make a threat on our president, which means they want to topple government. If a military man, as much as in a pepper soup joint, mentions that it's a coup plot, he will be court-martialed and it's execution. All those who were executed during the Babangida's period, even up to Abacha's period, I'm not sure they went as far as just threatening. Some may just be planned, just discuss some phantom coups. So when an insurgent threatens the president in the manner they did, by now there should be arrests, prosecutions, or at least there should be some drastic action. Like I told somebody, because I think I can be very, very blunt when I want to be blunt informally. I said, by now I expect that this country should be facing the International Criminal Court, Hague. You should be summoned for using too much force on the terrorists. They know all the forest. By now they should be, with all due respect, if you permit me, should be body bags of the terrorists to show it was laughable. That's how you prove it now. Not by coming through your Minister of Information to be banning rhetorics. But you are not doing anything differently. Those ones went on air to say they want threatening. You also went on air. So you are banding words. Banding words with miscreants. How do you reassure us? And what is more annoying, after that threat, they took some steps. They attacked some military formation in Zuba. About 2 days after. They also done another attack against somewhere in Niger State. So,
but the military assured us that they were repelled and they neutralized.
They were neutralized. But those are technical languages now, technical language as it were. But when you say neutralized, how many people died in the process? Soldiers lost their life again too. Why neutralize? You should be neutralizing them at their base. You should take the war to them. You should take the war to them.
Not to be defensive.
All the time they attack, looking at the Zuba. Somebody said they saw motorbikes, even the Kuje motorbikes. I asked somebody, how can motorbikes be on the highway with people carrying long guns on motorbikes, and they'll be driving on the Nigerian road. And then we don't have Air Force, so we just wipe them out. We don't have drones. Even if you chase them with your regular cars. I don't want to believe that somebody on a motorbike can be more positioned or primed to attack you than a military man in your hillocks or in your armored vehicles. So it brings to question. That's why now coming near home. That's why some theorists, there are a lot of theorists who can be very negative at times. Say maybe these things are planned. Maybe there are some inside job going on to create a scenario of lawlessness, some level of anarchy, some level of insecurity that will affect the elections next year. So that maybe somebody has the opportunity of invoking the emergency powers in the Constitution. Because if we have the kind of insecurity and it exacerbates, it gets worse. It's worsening every day, but thank God in the last 3-4 days, we've not heard anything again. Maybe I'm not the one catching up with news, but we've not heard any other bad news or worse news. But if things...
it appears after that video thread, steps were taken to actually neutralize. Let me use the language,
to neutralize them,
because what they told us is that they've neutralized some of those bandits who attacked, So that's what we heard.
I hope so. I've seen your video clip. I hope they are doing it really. Because if things get worse, as we're suggesting, if things get worse, then it will have been so bad that we can't hold elections.
Yes.
Because like last time I tried, I said, okay, we can manage is 2/3 of 36 states.
Yes.
And then, but now they're in Abuja. And
that is very disheartening.
The Constitution is very clear. 2/3 of 36 states plus Abuja. Abuja cannot be replaced. Abuja is irreplaceable. So if you make Abuja ungovernable and election cannot take place, even if election takes place in the whole 36 states,
and there's no election in Abuja,
that election is not valid. You can't elect a president of this country without the votes from the FCT. Without the votes from the FCT.
So it's as
crucial. It's crucial power now.
Yes.
So that is why, even though I had proposed that it's possible to do elections if we can isolate the areas that are, security, but not when it is now at the seat of our power, the Abuja itself. So that Abuja threat, the threat to the seat of power, the insecurity in Abuja. After the time these things were happening, we were hoping that things have simmered down a bit. If it was going to continue, or if it had continued or worsened, it would have been a very grave threat
Prof,
to
I must task you on this. Because this Abuja scenario, there was a statement from the FCT Police Command, our residents should not have freed names, they should go about their business, they should not be worried that there's security. But if you interview the residents of Abuja, they will tell you that they are scared.
Naturally.
And we understand that some persons have even traveled out.
Yes, out of the country and locating, yes. No, like I said before, beyond news media reports, which I'm sure you can verify from your own position, beyond that, the citizens have not seen anything that is reassuring, really. Especially if we narrow down to macro zone it to Abuja, the FCT. There's nothing to be assured about because these things are happening every day. Look at the Kuje prison. Kuje prisons is close to residential premises. There are people who stayed around there who had the gunshots and they were scared.
We understand that some of the terrorists are actually threatening Mr. President.
Yes.
Some of them actually were amongst the escapees, those who escaped from the Kuje prison.
I won't be surprised because if a man can arrange a prison break and be rescued while in prison, it's emboldened. It means it's like a mafia don who is strong now. Now he's out. It's only you, look, my friend, I can deal with you because allowing them to be rescued is a show of power. It's a muster point for them. It gives them courage. It's a veritable reason to recruit more hands because it's an advertisement for them that we are very powerful. Even if you are in prison, we'll come and rescue you. Even if you are convicted, you are at the verge of execution. You're going to be hung for murder and all those people involved in capital offense. We can come and rescue you. That's what drug barons do to their drug people. That's how the mafia does. That's what they used to show force. So you won't be surprised. So what is more annoying is that schools in Abuja and Essex are being closed down.
Because of this security threat.
If you say you are taking steps to protect, though I'm happy they did that. We don't want any more mass kidnap anymore. But the fact that you have to close down schools in Abuja and all environs, even some schools in Nigeria State have closed down too, that itself shows that you have not taken enough steps. The threat is still very much hanging on us. And then what is even worse, the threat has been spread now to other states. The threat to Lagos, Osun, and some western states. The last
some states now red alert.
Yes, NCDC, Civil Defense red alert that was watched in the mass media was about how they were going to attack some states. But if we focus on Abuja, FCT, there's no way we can reassure people that their lives are safe when people are living in droves. When attacks is every day, attacking Buhari, close to Abuja, close to the law school, attacking Zuba, Abuja, attacking Kuje.
It's terrible.
So all within the precinct, and then Kaduna is not far from Abuja. So all that is happening on that Abuja Kaduna Express Road is within Abuja. Then if you move to the other side, you talk about what's happening here. Nasarawa State, and that neighboring state, or is it Bauchi State? So everything surrounding Abuja is all enveloped in high octane insecurity. And so you don't do that by red tricks. You want to be seen as I speak now. Yes, you say you are neutralizing them. Let's assume you're just clearing of them. Okay, so but at least you should to pick 1 or 2 persons, arrest them. We should hear them confessing. Even our police here, when they fight crime, we see them assembling some of these suspects, even though some people will challenge, question it. But you assemble them, you hear from them. They can lead you to those who sponsor them, how they get their arms. It's that kind of things we expect them to be doing covertly, not just say we neutralize.
Yeah.
You neutralize, no information is gathered, you don't have any way to be preventive or proactive. They keep coming because people are suicide machines. As they are wired to be suicide machines. So it's not about the number you kill or take out, but it's how you can foster the operational base, flow of income, flow of arms, and all that. That's what you should check. Not killing not the body bags, not the foot soldiers, because they replicate like ants. And don't value that like that. All over the place. The few ones who probably are not indoctrinated, who are not yet part of the, or usually yet part of the, they are just coming to the south in droves. Just imagine when you leave the outskirts of Benin, you see them in droves. Just imagine how many of them over there who don't have the opportunity of coming to south for greener pastures, who are just there, and they are recruited into this army of terrorists.
And that again takes me to this other question. You know, we've seen now that there's formation of different outfits.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Even in Benin, the Hunters Association, you know, made a highly revered Oba of Benin, their grand patron. And the Oba of Benin actually made a public statement that it is not just forming different
security outfits,
multiplicity of security outfits, that's not the solution to curbing insecurity. But rather the police should be strengthened and now with more units, more departments.
Yes.
Instead of these hunters being a different body, they can be part of the police, but they'll belong to a department or a unit. So they'll be more organized, more professional. And I think the comments of our highly revered Oba is germane. What do you think about it? So we have different organizations. We have OPC, we have different states just forming different organizations.
Yes. No, like the Reverend Monarch has said, you see, of course, for a man who is at the grassroots, because people can be at the grassroots more than the traditional rulers of that status rather. See, the point made is the issue of community policing. That has been proposed over years. Others have said it is state policing. But whatever nomenclature we want to call it, what matters is that we need more personnel in the Nigerian police force and in fact all our security outfits. The ratio of Nigerian police force to the Nigerian population is abysmal. We are 200 million. I don't think we have up to a 1 million police force. I don't think so. I've not done the statistics, but I'm sure if you cross-check it, I'm not sure we have up to 1 million, which means the ratio of 1 to 10. So which means we need more personnel. Then how about training?
That's another aspect.
Yes, how about training?
Training and retraining of personnel.
The kind of government that is talking about cash trap I cannot fund. Because a government that does not place a premium on education experience, from what if I'm speaking from my own perspective as an academic. A government that does not place premium on education or training, I wonder if any of these people have been trained in counter-terrorism, espionage, and all those attributes. Those things we say about Sandoz, those that don't really go to Sandoz at all. They don't know how much they collaborate with international organizations to train our police force. It's when you train these people, they cannot come back and train our local ones. But the local ones too have their own traditional orientation too. The hunters. They know the bushes.
They know the forest.
They know the forest. They even have this traditional power that how were they able to kill? How our grandparents killing elephants? It's not blind. It's not how they kill elephant now. They must do some spirituality to kill elephant. So these people cannot overlook their powers too. And so they must be incorporated. And you can put them in the department, like I said. You can have a community policing department in place without state police or anything. You can have it there. Give a ranking officer to supervise them. They go gather information. Like I can always script. Why should our forests be taken over by these terrorists or criminals?
It's a terrible situation.
These hunters can be encouraged, but the way you need to encourage this, you have to arm them. You have to arm them. Because if you don't equip them, if they go with this our local den gun, they cannot survive. These people are going with AK-47 and AK whatever. I understand there's a higher brand of AK-42, so they are well armed. They have the resources. So we should match it. What are our governors doing in security votes? I've said so here repeatedly. I think I have an interest in it. I don't have an interest in security votes beyond being used to secure our humble selves, our citizens. So you can, if terrorists now be buying these things for the police, we should also be buying for our police to and equip them. We should also go the scientific way.
Yeah.
What happened to drones? It was a drone that was used to remove that Al-Qaeda head now. It was a drone that was used to assassinate that guy in Iran. They don't use manual
force
anymore because it's fraught with a lot of collateral damages. You use drones. We can afford these things now. We can afford these things. So why are we not using this? Why people Abuja does not have a CCTV? Why should Abuja town not be manned by closed circuit all over?
As we are coming in, people hoodlums vandalizing equipment FCT, even the traffic lights and all that. There was accusation like that.
Policing is 24 hours now. The police go to sleep. So if somebody come and remove a CCTV camera or remove anything and you can be arrested. There's no excuses now. It's a failure of governance if you say people are vandalizing public sector equipment or machinery that have been installed by taxpayers' money. Exactly. And you cannot do anything about it. I saw a report about 300-something doctors were certified in the UK within the last 3 months. So doctors are living in droves. So people are living. So those who don't have the means of living in Nigeria now, or those who don't have the reason to live, you must do something that will make them not regret not living by May 29 next year.
Thank you very much, Professor Joe Bodjon. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your comments have been very, very reassuring.
Thank you, even though it was solo, and I didn't have my friends to
join
disagree
you
or agree with me today.
Yes, next week will be another wonderful edition of the program where we'll be having all our guests, full complement of our guests to actually dissect what we will be looking at, a national topic, of course. But once again, we say thank you very much, Professor Joe Bodjon. My viewer out there, thanks for being a part of this week's edition of 60 Minutes Nigeria. Well, Nigerians are very good in prayers. We need to offer prayers. Insecurity must be curbed for election, for credible, free and fair election to hold. Do have a wonderful weekend ahead. Next week, by God's will, we'll be here again to look at another issue. Until then,